Greetings, my fellow Americans. My name is Randy Blankenship, founder and owner of the Freedom Cause. This video is titled, Overlooked Subject Behind the 2008 Economic Recession. There has been some finger pointing by the left on what they believe to be the root cause of the 2008 recession of our economy. Regardless of what you may believe was the cause of the 2008 economic recession, after you view this video, I think you'll begin to question why the left-wing media and the Democrats, who claim to have the answers, have not followed up on prosecuting those they call the culprits. To help refresh your memory and put a few facts in place surrounding this time frame in question, I give the following. 1. President George W. Bush gets tax cut legislation passed, and from 2003 to 2007, we have positive economic growth, high employment, and low interest rates. Number 2, Congress goes from Republican control to Democrat control in the elections of 2006. Their control begins January 2007, and from this point, the last 2 years of President George W. Bush's term, he's lame duck. A common political state of a lot of presidents in the last 2 years. Number 3, the Democrat-controlled Congress from 2007 through the first half of 2008 led an onslaught of hearings and investigations on a number of issues. Primarily, they focused on private industries and public industries and the Bush administration. This means nearly no time was devoted to monitoring or giving oversight to federal agencies, departments, and specifically financial matters. Number 4, Democrats ignored President George W. Bush and his administration, their calls and reports and concerns on vital federal government issues such as the growing concern of the housing market and our nation's future and impending financial health. Actually, Democrats failed to carry out their duties and responsibilities of oversight in nearly all areas of government, a political move to damage President George W. Bush. Democrats turned a blind eye to the financial status of the country and ignored the warning signs and concerns delivered from the White House. 5. Reality of the up-and-coming economic meltdown and recession finally hits about August 2008. Democrats were now forced to address the economic troubles that beat on the nation's doorstep. The Democrat-controlled Congress began a new series of hearings and investigations. One set of hearings was with CEOs of noted Wall Street financial companies. I think it was in September, during the September month of 2008. Note, what happens next is where the overlooked problem to the 2008 economic recession began and ended, never to be pursued any further. Coming up, number 7, during the hearings of Wall Street, large banks and finance and investment companies, one CEO was brave enough to point back to the Democrats at the congressional hearing panel and remark, now these are in my own words, that the financial problem was rooted in congressional manipulation. What followed was that the Congress, in their hearings and inquiries of these CEOs, was halted about 2 to 3 days later, and no further hearings or investigations were ever considered or taken up. Number 8, for several weeks, no pronouncement of the congressional findings was mentioned. No CEOs was investigated any further, charged, or tried for any crime, not even a misdemeanor. What the Democrats did do in the weeks leading up to the November 2008 election was publicly condemn these Wall Street companies and CEOs of wrongdoing without any specifics or evidence provided. The left-wing media recited the claims and never asked a question about proof or evidence. Where are the investigation and charges? Number 9, no one from President George W. Bush's administration would be connected with any act performed that would have contributed to the 2008 recession, but the left-wing media and the Democrats still blame the 2008 economic meltdown and recession on President George W. Bush and the finance industry, and have yet to provide proof of their claims. If the proofs were true, why is no one being prosecuted? Therefore, with all this before you, why did the Democrats discontinue the hearings and investigations of the Bush administration, the finance industry, and of Wall Street? Are the Democrats afraid of them? Or are the Democrats really afraid of the truth by testimony and evidence coming out in court? The Democrats did quiet the hearings for a few weeks before the November 2008 election, but perhaps the Democrats were afraid of being publicly humiliated by a court trial that would go on for months. If the Democrats are not at the root of the problem, then why would they have stopped the hearings, stopped the investigations, stopped the prosecuting? If you think you know what caused the 2008 economic meltdown and recession, think again. Without full disclosure, evidence, and honest testimony, the American people will never have the complete answer to this question. Let's stop the finger pointing and making allegations against people, companies, industries, or the Bush administration, or President George W. Bush, and ask for proof and evidence of these claims, any claims. Thank you for taking the time to view my presentation on overlooked subject behind the 2008 economic recession. Thanks, and may God bless you.